The turnaround of the Brisbane Bullets has been one of the stories of NBL24, from where they were last season to being now a very real conversation when it comes to postseason basketball. They've done a lot of things right this season. One thing they haven't been able to do is defeat Melbourne United. They went down by 35 in round 10, 11 in round 3. This is the next challenge for the Bullets in front of a sold-out crowd.
Big Banger's going to let it fly. Great way to start. Delvedova, unstoppable. Here's Harrison throwing down. There's Golding.
Tough shot.
From deep.
Oh,
he got it. He's hurting them big time. Nathan Sobey on fire in the opening quarter. That's ridiculous. What a game. Baines with a dagger. Say hello to the bad guy. Oh, he's enjoying himself. Elliott playing the hook court in for the flush. Smith takes it all the way down Main Street.
NBL24 is out of control.
There's not a spare seat in the house at Nissan Arena as first plays fourth on Friday night basketball. There you can see the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. The ladder leaders, Melbourne United, up against Brisbane, who are 12-12 on the season. Great atmosphere, great to be inside Nissan Arena. I'm Jack Heverin alongside two of the greats of the NBL, Andrew Gaze and Derek Rucker. Great to have you both, and what a night this is going to be.
Yeah, it's exciting to be here. First time I've actually come to the venue. Need a little work on the AC, but outside of that, this is a fantastic atmosphere. And with what's at stake tonight, it's going to be a huge, huge game, particularly for the Brisbane Bullets, who, Derek, they've lost 10 straight to Melbourne United.
They certainly have, Andrew, but Justin Schuller in the running for Coach of the Year has done a fantastic job. The Bullets have won 5 of the last 6. They're a stout defensive team. They rebound the ball very well. And, of course, his former boss, Dean Vickerman, one of the most outstanding coaches in league history. Look at that matchup, Drury. Look at what happens in quarter 2.
Yeah, it is. It's a big advantage. And but, you know, the last 6 games, Melbourne United have trailed at halftime, so they've got some issues at starts of games that they've been on the road throughout this period, but in that head-to-head matchup, that's a number that's you can't ignore, and I'm sure that Dean Vickerman would have focused in on that, and how you contain this guy here, Nathan Sobey, who's having one of his best seasons. And surprise, surprise, we've got the Paris Olympics coming up, and that's when he seems, history shows that's when he does his best work.
Well, here's the other superstar of the game, Chris Golding. He is in a venue that he loves to play in. Out of his last 6 games here, he scored 20 or more 4 times. He comes back home in front of family and friends in the shooter-friendly confines in Nissan Arena. Jack, this is going to be a big one.
Well, Aaron Baines went to Cairns last Sunday with the Bullets and was booed out of the convention centre. He didn't care. You heard it in the opener. Say hello to the bad guy. He won't be booed tonight, but what Bullets fans would love to see is more of what they saw last Sunday.
Well, it is, and I'm trying to figure out how this Bullet team is doing so well, and it's their big man department that's carrying a lot of the load, and Aaron Baines only playing the 13.5 minutes, but that 3 of 3 from the three-point line. Different proposition, because this man is coming back, Joe Luala-Jul, who's been away for some personal reasons, and he is a big factor, not starting with Hokporti filling the starting centre position.
So starting 5s for both teams. A couple of very interesting changes as well for Melbourne United, as Drewy mentioned. Ariel Hokporti will start tonight for them. Joe Luala-Jul in his return coming off the bench. For the Brisbane Bullets, Ruck, the big move tonight is Casey Prather, who will start for the first time as a Bullet against his former team.
And looking forward to see how he produces. He's coming in for Josh Bannon, who's still feeling a bit under the weather. The Bullets fans hope to have him back ASAP.
It is loud, it is hot, it is a big, big night for Brisbane basketball. And we're underway, round 17 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have you with us tonight. We've already seen the Breakers get the job done at home. Golding, guarded by Sam McDaniel. Teammates who won a championship together. That's as tough as it gets. McDaniel got a hand on it. Travis cleans up the scraps. The shot clock will beat them.
I don't know. I don't think it did. I think he got it away before it expired, but nevertheless, they were going to come up with it anyway. But Sam McDaniel making a statement on the very first possession to say, hey, Chris, life's going to be tough for you this afternoon, albeit that you've been lighting us up in this venue over the last couple of seasons.
Well, Sam's starting to make his name as a strong defender in this competition. Great matchup here against Chris Golden.
A little over 30 seconds gone. Shannon Scott. There's Harrison top of the key. Now the Bullets down to 5 on the clock. Scott's still a long way from the basket. He's going to have to manufacture something. Luke Travis gets things moving quickly for Melbourne United. Who has 16 wins, 6 losses for the season. And as Drewy said, as Hook Porty gets things going for the visitors. And Harrison at the other end can't respond.
A few nerves early, Drewy. A lot of energy. Team guys wanting to play well. The defense is pretty intense. Sobey fighting hard over that screen.
Porty sets a heavy screen, and that'll be an offensive foul. It happened right in front of us.
Yeah, and when you say right in front, literally right in front of us. And to me, Hook Porty, well, maybe because he's moving.
They just don't like when you turn in like that, Andrew.
If you look at it, Sobey grabs Hook Porty on the spin and then just falls to the ground. So we know that it's been a point of emphasis. And I like the fact that they do that to provide some balance between the offense and the defense. But I guess anytime you've got the big fella just moving even the slightest, they're going to call that.
Well, apologies, we've just got a slight issue with our clock at the moment. The game clock is working fine, but we'll get that on the bottom part of your screen as soon as we possibly can. Here's Scott for 3. He's fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 3, and Melbourne have picked up 2 early fouls.
And Coach Dean Vickerman right in front of us, very displeased with that foul on the 3, which seems to be a regular occurrence in the modern game, Andrew.
Yeah, well, there's such great shooting that's out there, and it was after the event, but you're landing in their airspace, you're taking the arms out. Very hard for the officials to ignore that, but just the intensity of the first couple of plays. Dean Vickerman spoke to their coaching staff before the game, and they were really disappointed in their last outing in Tasmania, and it was about trying to right the wrongs and really set the tone early on, and they have played with great aggression. And that time maybe just a little overzealous.
What do you think's missing from Melbourne at the moment? They haven't been themselves. They've only won 2 of their last 5.
It's a long season. You're sitting on top of the table. You've got a bit of margin, but you know, the talent's so even that you've got a couple of your main guys out. It's going to have an impact. Now, I know you would say the argument, well, they were missing early on in the season as well, but now that we've settled into the business part of the season, not having the full complement is going to have an impact.
Golding turns the corner. That's a better look. Bottom of the net.
Outrageous. Outstanding raise up off of that little pin down. And Sam McDaniel just can't let that happen. You've got to deny him good looks. An outstanding talent like Chris Golding, he can turn a game in a matter of minutes.
Sobey with his first look. A little miscommunication from United.
And right now, Brisbane aren't playing with the same offensive direction we've seen them be successful with. Pound that ball inside, put some pressure on Hook Porty, see if he can defend Harrison. That's how you beat Cairns. That's how you knocked off Sydney. I'm surprised to see them not focus on that here.
Well, a lot of it's Melbourne United. They're up and in. They run a lot of sets, the Bullets, and they haven't been able to get into them all that fluently. And the heat on the rim. Oh, Sobey's asking for a sub straight away. Oh, no.
He might have been asking for a challenge.
Oh, okay.
Thinks that
He thought there was a kick out.
Yeah.
Right. There's a little push off. And he's right. I don't know what
You think it was
wrong.
severe enough, Andrew?
No, but I mean, just from the defensive play, I'm not sure what you expect the defense to do. He got shoved out the way, and then the raised knee creates that separation. I think Sobes has got a
I don't mean to cut you off, Drew, but I fed you once already, but we might be getting free burgers here in a minute.
Oh, hello.
No.
6-3 early stages. As we mentioned, a sold-out crowd at Nissan Arena. The hype around the Bullets in Queensland is real at the moment. Prather off the glass.
That's tough. He's got to elite defender on him, or certainly a guy that's got some size and athleticism, the quick spin. This is the healthiest I've seen Casey Prather in a short time here. Doesn't seem to have carrying that limp like we've seen recently.
They've been very careful, Brisbane, with how they've used him since his return. And Clark, the #1 three-point shooter in the competition for much of the season. He's still shooting it at 46% now.
Well, they got two guys that can really light you up, Golding and Clark. So efficient from outside the three. Prather looking good, going to work, paying rent on the pivot foot. He looks strong, Andrew.
No, he does. And it's, like I said, it's the strongest I've seen him. I'm just talking about running up and down the floor. Looks a little mobile.
3 of 7 to start the night, Melbourne United. And McDaniel with confidence as that rattle out. Dellavedova. Score. How have you seen them settle into the game, Ruck?
Well, I think both teams are starting to settle into it a little bit. But there's been some empty possessions, Jack. I think Brisbane, again, I really think their strength is going inside, trying to get paint touches. Prather's done a pretty good job over the past few possessions. It was unfortunate there to miss that little mid-range pull-up.
No, I like the start. It's got a real playoff intensity about it. And with the Bullets, they get this win, and it may not be for a long period of time, but they're sneaking to 3rd place. Who would have thought 3 weeks ago that would have been a possibility?
Well, Andrew, I know you haven't seen much of the Bullets in person, but I think now you're getting a glimpse of how good they actually are defensively. And I think they probably haven't been given the credit for that being one of the building blocks of this new-look Bullets team.
Up Baines into the game. Lawala Chul also in, as is Kyle Bowen. The big men go to work. Lawala Chul wins it back for United. Shot clock down to 3, though. Not sure he's aware. Bowen didn't get it away in time. Second time early, the shot clock has beat Melbourne.
And Drew, you think both of those shot attempts got off before the clock had expired?
Oh, no, that one was closer. The first one didn't really matter anyway, but yeah, they were both pretty tight.
Harrison down low, trying to get busy on the Lawala Chul. Travels, and the basket won't count.
That's the direction they need to go. JLA has been out for a couple of weeks. Let's test him. Let's see if he's ready. And I thought he did a pretty good job of there holding his ground. He took a shot to the grill.
So Justin Schuller goes to his bench. They are the #1 team in the competition for bench points, the Brisbane Bullets. 35% of their total scoring comes from the bench. Mitch Norton out there. Aaron Baines out there too. As we mentioned, no Josh Bannon tonight for the Bullets. Golding got away from McDaniel. So active off the ball.
It doesn't need any space. It's just the slightest nudge. He uses his body really well to create some separation when he doesn't have the ball. Gets that daylight and he can release it so quickly.
Sobey forced to kick it back out. Norton, little runner. Does that drop out as well? 2 of 10 to start the night from the field, the Bullets. They're getting good looks. Just not cashing in. Clark from the free throw line. Bowen with an uncontested rebound. Illy with all the time in the world to check the feet. That doesn't count.
Got some blood. Bleeding from the eye, so he's going to need a sub. But great to see Shea Illy back. Although I know he missed that one, and he's had some problems from the three-point line this season. But the numbers are stark. Well, across the last 2 seasons, they're 28-8 when he's playing, and when he's not playing, they're 4 and 10. So it speaks volumes for what he brings to the table at both ends of the floor. Renowned for his defense.
And that roar that you just heard at Nissan Arena was for Rocco Zakarski, who checks in for his first look tonight. Didn't see a lot of him in Cairns last week, only 50 seconds. McDaniel, tough finish.
And they've gone with the Twin Towers lineup of Baines and Zakarski to see if they can put some interior pressure on this Melbourne United defense. And I was going to mention before, Kyle Bowen, come out of relatively nowhere, Andrew, to have a good role with this Melbourne United team, and you can see his value out there. You saw it on the Chris Goulding bucket where he set him up nicely. He's patient, he's a good decision maker. He understands passing angles and screening angles. A little bit taller than you think, and he shoots it better than it looks like he would.
I was about to say, the thing is, you've got to respect him. The technique is unorthodox, and it's not all that pleasant on the eye, but it's effective.
4 years at St Mary's. He started in the senior year. Baines, his presence was enough to force Melbourne to reset. Goulding feeling it early. That one jumps out. And he's got that look in the eye, Chris Goulding. And it's the Bullets who trail by 2. It's been a tough and tense start to this one. Here's Chris Smith. High release 3. Doesn't go.
Gee, neither team shooting it at all well. Both at 25% from the field.
Carry against Goulding. Basket won't count. Now officials tonight, Mitch Hare, Mark Mill, James Grigol.
I guess Chris is surprised because we don't see it called all that often. It's something that I reckon you could call a lot that doesn't get called. So when you do get, I think it was a carry. Look at the ball. See the hand. Now watch. See the hand come under? Now that is technically there. I have seen a hell of a lot worse not called.
Sometimes it's just a reminder that the rule still exists.
Yeah, but that's where you sometimes feel like the officials are against you when they're plucking that out with everything that goes on.
And you see there, Norton decided to go with Zakarski as his screener. They have really good chemistry in the PNR, Drew. And Norton, we know, is one of the best tossers. He can toss that ball up to the lob.
That time it comes undone, though. Hands from Flynn Cameron. And the foul on Norton as well. Brisbane's 4th of this opening term.
And that's just sloppy. The attention to detail when that goes up another level. Simple handoff. Hey, they're going to have hands in there, the deflection, and get another possession. And
especially when you know that these are 2 really good defensive teams. They're going to fight and claw for every possession.
Krebs got Smith up in the air. Nice take, but doesn't finish off.
4 of 17 now. And they've had some decent looks.
It's hard to imagine that we've got 2 minutes 21 left in the opening quarter and it's 11-9.
Give both teams credit. They've come out and they're making a statement on the defensive end. But then you see that last play, a wide open layup. And that just comes from the pressure.
Well, the No Ball Tour is on sale. We've been telling you all about it. You need to get busy. Get your tickets. Get there quick. Hosted by Shane Jacobitz, and he's actually a mad Brisbane Bullets fan.
A bit of Kenny? Will we give us a bit of Kenny?
I don't know.
There's a smell in there that'll outlast religion. Do you remember that in Kenny?
Yes. And burgers as well. The code word is ring. Shout out to Hungry Jacks. I definitely didn't have Drewy quoting Kenny on my
well, you mentioned
bingo card tonight.
Shane Jacobson, it's what he's renowned for. Quality movie. If you haven't seen it, one of the all-time great Aussie productions.
Wow. Hands from Flynn Cameron.
Another one.
Well, Andrew, I just spoke about it. Everyone is fighting and just scrapping. And right now, the offenses can't get their rhythm. And I'm sure there's some nerves, too, especially from the Bullets. They haven't been in a big game like this in years.
So 11-9 in the snooze timeout. It's a big night for the Brisbane Bullets, and we mentioned it's a big night for Justin Schuller as well, and Ruck caught up with him pre-game.
Justin, a big game tonight. Have you felt the air of excitement around the city over this Bullets team?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, we're going to have the biggest crowd ever in this building tonight, which is testament to, one, our fans wanting to keep coming week in, week out, but also a reflection of what the boys have done. So, yeah, looking forward to the battle ahead.
You were an assistant under Dean Vickerman. How much credit do you give to him for your development as a head coach in your first year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he gave me my first opportunity, and I've said it a few times, I was never thinking about coaching this league until I got involved with United, and the trust he put into me has helped me get to this spot today. So, yeah, appreciative of that, but definitely want to kick his tail tonight.
Wonder how he's feeling, or would have been feeling coming into tonight, Ruck. As we mentioned pre-game, they lost by 11 in round 3 to Melbourne, and then 35 in round 10. They were very ordinary on that night.
They were, but he's got to be feeling pretty good about where his team is within the context of the season. I don't think anyone thought they'd be sitting in 4th place with an opportunity to advance into 4th, into 3rd this late in the season. Now, what do they do right now coming out of this huddle? Andrew, I'm not opposed to just saying, guys, just go out and play. Don't run any offense for the next couple of possessions. Just loosen up and feel the game a little bit.
Well, they need to try and do something to deal with this pressure, both teams. It's a tough shot.
That was good defense, I thought.
Blue 12.
I think Aaron Baines might have got one where you don't really want to cop one.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
We all know that look.
We do. Well, most of us. It's not pleasant, but the big fella, he'll bounce back, I'm sure. In fact, you're going to give him a spell.
See the sweat pouring off his body. It is seriously warm in here tonight. Very humid day in Brisbane, Ruck. I don't know how you handle this all the time.
33 degrees. Felt like 38 when I picked you guys up from the hotel.
No, it's the humidity, and you can't really tell on the screen, but in their pre-game, with their introduction, there's a lot of smoke. And again, we're going back to the sort of the days when we're in those countries that didn't enforce the no smoking rules.
Smith went to the basket, was met by Travers and Luala Chul.
And Smith is a better penetrator than people give him credit for, but I thought that was good defense. Rule of verticality in effect. Brisbane ball underneath.
Still 8 on the shot clock. Sobey hasn't scored as yet, only the 1 field goal attempt. Trying to get himself going, blocked over the back by Travers. United are clamping down defensively. Krebs from the corner. Against his former team, gets it to drop.
He's been really good the past month or so, Andrew, shooting it well from the three-point line, understanding when to try and have an impact.
Melbourne getting on a little run as they head towards quarter time. It's nice with Harrison.
He just gets to his spot, and that's the size advantage that provides. And gee, it's been fun to watch his development from when he first came into the league to where he's at right now.
Second in the competition, block shots. Tyrell Harrison leads the league in field goal percentage. A very, very good season for Brisbane. And that time couldn't stop Luala Chul.
And Dean goes straight back at him down the other end of the floor. Tess Harrison, and good touch by Joe Luala Chul Jr.
Chris Smith found a way to make that work.
Talk about underrated skills, Derek. And Harrison, he is a great passer. He gets a lot of touches at the elbows on the box, and he's not afraid to find people.
Luala Chul from outside. He doesn't take that shot often, but when he does, it counts.
And a good job as we look at the Harvey Norman replay. Matthew Dellavedova set that up nicely, created early offense off the push. And JLA, I thought he would be a better three-point shooter now based on how he was tracking a few years ago. I'd like to see him shoot a few more, Andrew. The form looks good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's okay. You're right. I think he does enough to stretch the floor.
But
But sometime early on in his career, I thought he was falling in love with the perimeter game a little bit more, and you saw in that play before. Down low, he's with that Dirk Nowitzki type one step, create that separation. But no, you got to respect him out there. That's for sure.
The shot clock and game clock almost in unison. Sobey turns it over. There's been some extra attention on Nathan Sobey in this first quarter. He's clearly been a priority for Melbourne.
And you just feel that there are times, like if you look at this, there's still 12 seconds to go, and he's in attack mode with, well, 13 seconds to go, 12.8. So just the timing of that play
was poor.
Yeah, was not the right decision.
But Drew, we've seen this so many times in the years we spent in this league. Your first snip of the big time, when the lights are even brighter, nerves come into play.
Blue 26.
And Brisbane looked tight.
Off the ball, Sam McDaniel holding on to Chris Golding.
Are you concerned, Ruck? You said that Brisbane looked tight. Are you a bit worried with what you're seeing?
Well, I thought they didn't come out with the focus offensively that I had expected and would have been working. And it's just a matter now of, do you panic because you are potentially going to be down 9 going into the second quarter? Or are you willing to show strength and courage in your conviction and go with what's been working and pound that ball inside off the pass and see if your bigs can create opportunities for you against this Melbourne United defense? But Melbourne United look really confident right now, Andrew.
Well, they do, and they've got a margin. They are actually hitting their threes. They're 4 of 8. Only 7 of 20. Neither team's lit it up. But that's an unusual miss for Chris Golding. But this game is going to be a lot to do with the three-point line. Melbourne United, one of the better, I think third, 36% or thereabouts, as opposed to last place with Brisbane only 25% from the threes. And if you see how Melbourne United have been taking away a lot of that action to the rim, it's they've got to find different formulas to the way they can create shots, the Bullets.
Last possession of the quarter. 1 on the clock for Smith, on the run. Almost. And it's United who start strongly at Nissan Arena in front of a sold-out crowd. They lead 21-13. It's Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Very frightening defenders that we have. They'll hit a layup, retreat.
This is Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Brisbane playing host to Melbourne United at Nissan Arena. And it's United who lead at quarter time, 21-13. 4 of 8 from downtown. Mitsubishi Motors threes raining thick and fast for the ladder leaders.
And Brisbane look tight. They do look tight. And where you see the evidence of it is what they're doing from across the board. And their shooting percentage is 29% from the field. 0 of 3 from threes, and Melbourne let them off the hook a little. 3 of 8 from the free throw line.
So McDaniel, it's a little friendly drop.
But you know, Drew, a lot of this points to a team that's just got a winning championship infrastructure. They know what this feels like. They're not astounded or shocked by anything that's going to happen in the big moment as Dellavedova continues to do a good job getting in the paint, creating opportunities. Brisbane got to contain Dudley, leading the league in assists.
Sorry, Ruck. Last 4 games, he's averaged 9 assists a game, Matthew Dellavedova. So while Melbourne have been 2-2 in their last 4, Delly's certainly been fighting the open man. Shot clock at 7. McDaniel pulls up in the mid-range.
He's the only one that's really standing out right now for the Brisbane Bullets, and he's got a tough assignment down the other end trying to guard Chris Golding, but it's helping him on the offensive end.
This Sobey scoreless in the opening quarter. Downhill, misses the layup.
Clark gets called for a push. Have a look. Oh dear. From that angle, it doesn't look like much, but from behind, he's moving forward, and I think Dean Vickerman's going to challenge it. Now, I think there was a little contact from behind, and Sobey might have exaggerated the contact slightly, but these are going to be hard ones because I don't think it's going to be a blatant.
Confirming the coach's challenge. While we wait for that coach's challenge, earlier tonight, we saw the New Zealand Breakers, Ruck, have a very good win over Tasmania. They were pushed to the very end, 94-88, the final result in New Zealand. A big one for the Breakers and their play-in aspirations.
Well, we've talked about that New Zealand team's potential with 3 of the best imports in the NBL. And if they can get it together and make a late run, that's going to put a lot of pressure on some of these teams like Cairns and Brisbane and the Sydney Kings, who we saw stumble. Is stumble the appropriate word for what happened in the Heartland last night, Jack?
No.
Yeah, that was a tough one for them. And the Jack Jumpers, they get them always in the contest. You've got to have great admiration for the way in which that they looked down and out in that game, but showed great grit to give themselves a chance. 4 points down, 29 seconds to go. And Milton Doyle misses a...
The coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The foul on the floor will stand. 2 shots to 21.
Yeah. Now, there's not a lot of contact. Like I said, it's always going to be hard to overrule it. Dean Vickerman loses his timeout and his challenge.
Was it worth it, Andrew? Given the context of the game and how you project this game turning out, we got 3 quarters left.
To me, it didn't look like a blatant error. I don't think if we were watching that replay back and there was no foul call, that we would be saying, gee, Sobey unlucky. Should be at the free throw line. But there was contact there. And they missed their first free throw for the contest. Perfect 3 of 3 before that one.
Melbourne at the other end got to the free throw line 8 times in the opening quarter, but this was 3 of 8, yeah.
Left a lot out there.
Sobey brings things back. It's a 5-point game. The second quarter, though, has been the Achilles heel for Brisbane when they played Melbourne this season. Both times they've been blown out as Harrison swats that away. 5 on the clock for Clark. Harrison got a piece of that one too.
Wow. What length, Andrew, and great timing.
Exceptional. not just for the 2 blocks, the way he handled that drop situation and the deflection. It was perfectly executed. He's in the right spot, Harrison, but it's the activity of the hands that broke up the play.
And look here, he's got the hands way up there. Man, really elevates.
Well, that was
a good athlete.
Yeah, that was the second one, and coming off that on-ball screen when Matthew Dellavedova, it was only Harrison's deflection that stopped a alley-oop dunk to Porty. Sobey misses another one.
0 from 2 from the field. And his first free throw attempt, Ruck, was long.
He's an 87% free throw shooter. Am I right? Did my memory serve me well?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure what the rule is on lane violations anymore. Some get called, some don't get called. Guys just stroll into the lane.
Well, we've seen a carry tonight, so you never know. The Golding, wide open look all night long.
McDaniel mad at himself. He knew you go fly by Chris on that head fake. It's going to leave yourself pretty naked.
Tyrell Harrison forces in another 2, and Brisbane keep coming up with answers. .26-21 at Nissan Arena. What a finish from Shea Ely.
And Shea Ely, one of the real X factors of this Melbourne United team in its pursuit of a championship, does a great job right here, just getting a little nudge, and that's high skill and class right there. We saw him have a terrific campaign for New Zealand, and the only thing holding him back from that next level of stardom, Andrew, is health.
Well, that's spot on. And it was announced during the week that in the off-season he's going to continue to play with the Sandringham Sabres in the NBL South. So it was an interesting one for me on 2 fronts. One, because we've got to deal with him, the mighty Melbourne Tigers, but also thought that there might have been a little bit more of a conservative approach given the health issues that he's faced, that maybe might need a spell.
Bowen has options to choose from. Golding's pass was a little adventurous perhaps, and then Bowen decided to keep that in. Brisbane with numbers up ahead. This time Sobey. That's well short. It's just not happening for Nathan Sobey right now. Golding at the other end. It is happening.
That is outrageous. That is beautiful to watch. That is elite shooting that I think many of us take for granted. That is a special NBL talent, and it's fun when he's in this frame of mind.
Well, I said he loves playing at Nissan Arena, catches that thing in rhythm, no doubt, pull the trigger, big-time player, great shooter, great swag.
Pre-game, Derek Rucker had a chat to the coach of Melbourne United, Dean Vickerman, and spoke about coaching against his former assistant, Justin Schuller.
You're a deserved Coach of the Year candidate. We've been talking about it all week. How do you feel seeing one of your former assistants also be in that conversation?
Yeah, you know, a lot of assistants have come through our program. They got an opportunity to be head coaches. You know, Justin took on a program here that needed a lot of help, and I think he's weathered some storms throughout the year that have come at him, and, you know, he's coming out the right end. So, you know, really pleased with the progress he's made.
Oh, there's a little bit of vision of Dean Vickerman as a championship coach. Justin Schuller alongside him. He's done some wonderful work with the junior programs in Australian basketball. Justin Schuller, he deserves this opportunity. And whenever we listen into a timeout, I think it's pretty clear who his mentor was. They sound very similar.
They do, and strategically, they do things similar as well. And I think Justin this year, with some of the sets he's running, really impressive, and he's had to do his time. There you see Dean Vickerman with some of the assistants that have come through the program, and Justin Schuller the latest. But you know, Justin Schuller also in the off-season, head coach at Kilside Cobras, head coach down with the Geelong Supercats. He's not just a rookie head coach. He's a rookie head coach here, but he has a lot of head coaching experience, and with the national junior team as well.
Prather made a good start to the game. Back in with immediate effect.
He's looking good. He's growing in confidence. And if he can just get 10% better physically, he's going to be a real valuable addition. We know his pedigree.
Played 16 minutes against Cairns in that game, had 8 points as Golding's pass goes astray. Smith with a hard drive. Golding went upstairs and challenged him. And players go down as Golding was downhill.
Well, who's the foul going to be on?
24. Block. No basket. Right out here.
Gee, they denied Melbourne United an easy one, so they've pulled on Harrison. Couldn't quite see it. There was a clash.
And Drewy, I'm interested to see, where did Golding pick up the basketball? Where was the gather on this? The foul is, when was it blown? Okay, takes the extra dribble. Boy, that was close. And that's what Chris is looking for.
Well, the foul has helped Brisbane
Yes.
in that circumstance.
And the substitution of Golding out of the game has certainly helped Brisbane as well, because he's cooking at the moment. 12 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep.
Straight away, Brisbane, Sam McDaniel goes out of the game, probably because Chris Golding went out. So he wants to keep him on Chris Golding minutes.
Travis throws up an air ball. It's fine from Illy. Has Luala Chul underneath. He's got 8 points in the game. The second quarter, again, Melbourne United are edging ahead. Prather from the mid-range. It's as good as he's looked, wearing Brisbane colours.
I thought he showed signs up in Cairns, and we're starting to see the next degree of production. Drew, I take back what I said about JLA, maybe looking for that 3 a little bit more.
I wanted to go a little harder on you, but
No, that's all right. Feel free, Drew.
I think he's a 22% three-point shooter, so the numbers. But no, but he can. I know what you're seeing.
Yeah.
When he's got time, and the last one was a good three-point attempt because of where it was and the time in the shot clock. That one was not so sure.
How long's Chris Golding sitting for?
Well, they've got a bit of a margin. You need to get him some rest just because the heat in this joint.
Are you still a bit sweaty, are you?
Yes.
Your hair's gone all frizzy.
Stuff going on.
That'll be on the Luala Chul.
And now the danger, I think, having seen Brisbane play so often, is they seemingly are out of a game and trudging along, but they're doing a decent job defensively just to hang around, Drew. Then all of a sudden, Smith hits a couple of threes, Sobey makes a play, and then they're back in the game.
No, I know it's nothing in this. It make these two, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Well, thanks to Reebok, who are our official footwear partner. This is your chance to sit in the Pump by Reebok seats at John Cain Arena in Melbourne on Feb 18. Flights, accommodation, all looked after.
Wow.
With thanks to Reebok.
Nice.
Are we eligible for that, Jack?
No. You might be able to get some shoes, though. Travers on the lob.
Woo. That's what I love about Luke Travers. You can put him in so many positions on the court, Andrew, with the ball, without the ball. He's very versatile. Got a lot of Sam McKinnon about him.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And play there was his first field goal.
Well, Prather is their best offensive weapon right now, but Baines inside is always an option.
This is what I expected out of Brisbane earlier on. More of that pump it in, smart pick and roll play.
Their shooting clip has started to improve as a result now. They're to 11 of 25 from the field. Clever tip on by Illy. Gives United a fresh look at things as we tick down to 4 minutes remaining before half-time. Illy stripped. Prather's everywhere in this second quarter. Smith lays it up. 4-point game.
Underrated pass there from Casey Prather. dropped it down perfectly for Chris Smith, who finished smartly at the rim. Brisbane back in the game just like that.
9 points for Casey Prather, 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. And now an offensive foul against United. The tide is starting to turn.
Well, it is, and they're turning their good fortune on the defensive end into scores. That wasn't happening early in the game. Good hands and good help by Prather. And you're spot on, Derek. That is a beautiful pass. On point, easy too. And then Shea Illy, you just can't stick your tush out like that and expect to get away with it.
Prather comes out of the game. We mentioned that they are very careful with managing his minutes. He's barely played in the last 2 seasons because of knee injuries.
He's played 13 today, Jack. He played 16 in the whole game against Cairns, so be curious if Brisbane are willing to get him up over that 25 mark.
Here's Sobey, the look that he's been waiting for, and that doesn't drop either. Big rebound by Baines. Scott can't score, and some holding underneath.
That's
will be against Dellavedova.
It's the presence of Aaron Baines.
And Andrew, this is the thing that you don't really understand about Brisbane until you see him in person. They are a strong basketball team. They've got a lot of size, and that presence starts to wear teams down over the course of 4 quarters.
Well, it is, and you know, you're talking about a really solid rebounding team as well because of their size, and it really puts a lot of pressure on. And gee, I thought it was going to be the foul was on Baines on the rebounding attempt. It was on Delhi.
And teams can present problems, and wow,
what is going on here?
2 of 5 from the line. But teams can hit you with athleticism. They can hit you with great shooting. That size thing, Andrew, something that's been...
You don't see it a lot. Oh my. What is going on? He's going to get another go because...
Nathan Sobey is 0 of 4 from the field and 2 of 5 from the free throw line.
So that last one didn't count because of the violation.
No, he gets another go at it. But right now there's some things going on in his head that he's just got to work out.
Drew, we've been to that playground before.
Oh, many a time. And it's not a pleasant one.
No.
The swings are broken.
Oh,
the slide doesn't work.
Yep.
It's no good.
As soon as you get there, it starts raining.
That's it.
Travers, that time the lob wasn't on, but there was a foul before that on Shannon Scott.
And I think they took the concept of tagging the roller to a new level there.
Joe Lawala, Chul wants to have a few words. Thought there might have been a little bit too much in it, but that's what you got defensively. That's what you got to do.
Got to make people feel you.
If you, particularly if you think you're going to get posterized on the alley-oop, if you're soft on that tag, it's not going to work.
United from the baseline. Oh, just got that in. Dellavedova getting busy on Scott. Scores!
Well, they bid on the alley-oop play. So the person guarding Delhi on the inbound, they bid on the guy coming out as well, and as such, Delhi just steps in and it's a scramble and powers his way to the basket. That's what happens when you've got an elite guy going to the basket who can dunk it on you, and you've got Ian Clark coming out who can come in the 3. You saw Bainesy there who just didn't know where to turn.
And Delhi's the master of all those little crafty moves in the paint. We know he doesn't shoot it at the clip we would like just yet in his NBL career, but he's good with the flip shots, the and-one opportunities in the paint around the bucket.
And the passing. So much of the game is the on-ball. He'll find rollers if they're open better than anyone.
Leads the league in assists. Matthew Dellavedova, 6.2 a game. Chris Smith, that is tough. Has 6 points on 3 of 7.
4-point ball game.
It's a real chess match out here, too, between these two coaches. Defensive driven. At all costs, Andrew, Brisbane have sold out to not allow an alley-oop dunk. You can see that is in the game plan. Baines with a forearm shiver, it looked like from my angle on JLA.
So that's 2 on Baines, 2 on Harrison, as well as 2 on Shannon Scott, Nathan Sobey, and Mitch Norton. Joe Lawala-Chul has been out since round 15 for personal reasons. Back tonight. Takes care of both free throws. It's 41-35 at Nissan Arena. Round 17 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The ladder leading Melbourne United, playing the 4th place Brisbane Bullets. And it's been an arm wrestle. Travers almost snatched that away from McDaniel. The presence of Aaron Baines underneath with strength. Drags in the offensive rebound. Little flip over the top as well.
And in the past 3 to 4 weeks, I think he has discovered what this league is about and how he can impact his team positively, game the game. Agree or no?
100%. You go back to when he first came in the league, he was really struggling to find where he's going to fit. Great move by Delhi, but we've seen in this one here his strength around the rim and the touch the big fella's showing. Coming off also that perfect 3 of 3 outing from the 3-point line.
Smith with a turnaround that time. Rebound for Lawala-Chul. That's their 21st rebound of the game, Melbourne. Brisbane have just 10 of their own. Lawala-Chul took it straight at Aaron Baines and said he can't guard me. No point telling us.
I know, I hear you. He couldn't guard you then. Don't scream at me.
Well, having some similarities to JLA that you guys don't, I know that he wasn't talking to me.
Well, that is when he gets that running start, it's tough for Baines. Now, on the block, he can stay with him, but at a running start that he has, it's really tough to guard.
Got very close to us from where we're sitting here at courtside. He's quite an intimidating presence when he wanders over like that, Joe Lawala-Chul.
Well, he's got a great skill set. You see there, he can put that ball on the deck, go either way with it. And he looked a little bit rusty to start the game. We saw him playing some free throws, but he's found his way into this game. 12 points on only 5 shots.
This is a very important stage here for Brisbane. Just as they were starting to get some momentum going, Melbourne have scored 8 of the last 10 points in the game.
They certainly have, and the big fella, JLA, has been pivotal to that. He's got the 12 points, and you see the versatility. He's already hit the 3 ball. You can see what he does off the dribble and down low with the early Dirk Nowitzki step back, showing us the complete package, coming off some arrest, and not an intentional rest, but had some personal issues that he had to get taken care of. So he's coming in looking fresh and looking eager.
Well, in these final 90 seconds or so, Drew, you think Brisbane can get 3 possessions, maybe 4, and you'd want to try and score 3 times and hold Melbourne United to only 1 bucket.
Out of that timeout, Smith wanted a foul, nothing happening. Travers quick to the other end.
He's so smooth out in the open floor.
Just glides.
It's like a greyhound with wings.
That's a double-digit lead once more for Melbourne. A minute remaining before half-time.
Well read by Delhi on that play. Came over the top, contested that 3 ball.
The Bullets 1 of 8 from deep so far in this game. Lawala-Chul once more takes it at Aaron Baines.
Speaking the truth.
Point count, 12. Push him in the
Again,
head.
it's
One
coming
shot.
off the dribble. Catches the ball at the 3-point line, and then have a look at the shimmy, the change of direction. Baines needs a little bit more help, and you can see the push with the left arm.
But an outstanding move on the catch, Drew. A little throw-down jab, got it over to his left hand. And obviously it's going to be a tough matchup for Baines, isolated out there on the perimeter with JLA's quickness and length. But who's the matchup? You know, and this is where they miss Josh Bannon, because you could put a guy a little bit smaller and try and contain him better.
14 points, 5 of 6. Make that 15 with 5 rebounds in the opening half. He's plus 11, Joe Luala-Chul.
He's left 3 from the free throw line out there as well.
And he's seen Aaron Baines off. He'll sit the remainder of the half on the bench. And now it's Rocco Zakarski's turn. Clever little play from Isaac White. Desperately needed bucket for Brisbane. And once again, a couple of seconds difference between game and shot clock.
Moving screen on Shea Ili. And that was just JLA being a little too anxious. Shea was coming to set the screen, and JLA put it to the floor and caused a moving screen on Shea Ili. But clearly you can see what they're trying to do. They've found someone with JLA, taking the bigs off the bounce, and they're milking it.
And the last play of the half. Prather back out there. McDaniel, head down to the basket, pulls up from long range. And as good as Brisbane were in that second quarter, Melbourne United were better, and they lead 50-39 at halftime.
Yeah, both teams shot the ball a lot better in that second quarter, and it was only the last 2.5 minutes that really cost Brisbane. They were hanging in there, would lead around that 4 to 6 points, and then that last 2.5 minutes, JLA took control and was able to get that scoreboard ticking over and get some stops down the other end.
Let's get over to Derek.
Here with Chris Golden. Chris, you got the team off to a great start in that first quarter, and then JLA came in strong in the second quarter. How happy are you with the team's start?
Oh, good parts, some bad parts. Left a lot of points at the line, which is something we've been working on, but for the most part, our intent has been there to go and rebound the basketball and get the other way.
You happy with the team's defensive performance in this first half?
Yeah, I think it was 13 points at quarter time, a few extra then, but if we keep doing what we're doing, we're making a conscious effort to play without fouling, so we can go in and then get the rebounds and try and turn it into offense.
Thanks for your time, Chris.
Lead for Melbourne United at halftime, 50-39. Stick with us, the CEO of the Brisbane Bullets, Mel Watts, to join us in the halftime show. Half-time at Nissan Arena in Brisbane. It's Melbourne United who lead at the main break. Derek Rucker. As good as Brisbane have been at times, Melbourne United seem to have always had the answer.
Well, right now it's just a matter of one team that's been through this. They understand what it takes to get out into an advantage, and that's been the difference right now. Melbourne United, very professional, but yet Brisbane still have shown glimpses of being able to play with this team. But in that second quarter, Jack, it was all JLA. He did it from outside the perimeter. He was able to attack Aaron Baines off the dribble and basically play him off the court. But right now, JLA is the difference in this game, and he's one of the reasons why you must consider Melbourne United one of the toughest matchups in the competition as we look at the Blackmore shot chart. He's only taken 6 shots to get 15 points. He's left a few free throws out there, but he's been the dominant force in this game. And as I alluded to in the interview with Chris Golding, Golding got them off to a good start. He set the table, and now JLA has come in like a superstar and started to get his own impact in the game.
And that's going to be the big challenge ahead of Brisbane in this second half. Great to have the CEO of the Brisbane Bullets, Mel Watts, with us here at Nissan Arena. Mel, firstly, thanks for having us. Sold-out crowd, big day, big occasion. This time last year, things weren't going so well for this organisation. Now, things like they're going really well.
Yeah, look, things are picking up, and we're celebrating too early. There's a lot of work to do, but we're very pleased with the progress made, and it's great to see a club with 40-year history starting to get back to what we used to be identified by.
What's pleasing you the most? Is it the on-court success, or is it the fact that the Brisbane commercial community and the basketball public has really embraced this team?
Look, it's you can't have one without the other. I think that's what's important to me, is that it's got to be that championship organisation approach. What's pleasing me is that the work that we've been doing off the court is really impacting on the court. So as much as the players are rising and are performing, so is our front office, so is our community. Our fans and members are coming and supporting us in droves, and it's a sum of all parts, really.
Mel, you arrived in July as the CEO. Justin Schuller was already in place at that stage, but now you've had the chance to work with him day in, day out. Tell us more about Justin and what he stands for as a coach.
Look, I think that was my number one priority, really. I know we had played out, we talked about last year, played out in the media quite a lot, and I think I talk about partnership. I think that the main partnership we need to have was between the two main leaders, was myself and our head coach. So we started there. I mean, Justin's a great guy. I like to think I'm a great guy. So we broke bread, had a coffee, and we talked about our philosophies about how we work. And there's a lot of similarities with that. In terms of Justin as a head coach, again, I think it's the standards that he sets. He sets high standards. He lives by those standards, and he's got all the tricks of the trade. He's hard when he needs to be, and he's also got a very sensitive and caring nature towards the players and team.
You come from the rugby world. Yeah. How have you found this crazy NBL24 season? Well, so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me any basketball-related questions, so that's good. Look, it's brilliant. So, for me, coming from another code, and, I hadn't had much experience with basketball, even attending NBL, so I'm a new fan. I think the product is so strong. What's testament to the league is how close the games are. If you're a fan of a club, you're staying with it all year round. It's very quickly, and in 2 or 3 games, you're right back in the hunt. And I think we've seen that many times this year, and I think that gives that fan engagement some hope all year that your team could make it.
Now, we know you're a busy man, so we're going to let you go very shortly, but you'd be well aware of the Brisbane Bullets as a legacy brand here in Australian basketball. Are you aware of the opportunity to get Brisbane back to some of those lofty heights?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I think that was the opportunity that drove me. I'm someone that I probably gravitate to things that aren't working and put my take, my experience on it to try and improve it and bring it back. So the Bullets Club means so much to Brisbane, and what's driving me at the moment is that we need to bring this club back to what we were known in the 80s and 90s and the nostalgia that the fans have with it.
Well, as a former Bullet, we're very proud of what you've done, and thanks for taking the time to join us today. This is it's a great atmosphere in here every game, and I think, Jack, it's a first visit, and it's a great energy.
It is fantastic, but it's very hot in here as well. So if we could turn the air conditioning on, Mel, that'd be fantastic.
We turn it off for a home court advantage. We think the humidity might impact United more than us.
Mel, thanks for joining us. Stick with us. The second half is coming up next. It's Melbourne leading over Brisbane at Nissan Arena.
Tickets are $185 per person with a member rate of $175. Enjoy 3 hours of collectible food and beverage while rubbing shoulders with Brisbane Bullets players and coaching staff. It's all happening Thursday, the 28th of March. Scan the QR code on the screen now to secure your tickets today. Gentlemen, let's throw you up on the big screen. I want to see you getting hyped up. We've got a little bit of work to do in this second half, but we can get this thing done. A win tonight puts us in the 3rd place. Brisbane, give me some noise if you want to see Bullets win tonight. Let's hear you.
Just about ready to go for the 3rd quarter at Nissan Arena. Melbourne United leading 50-39 on a very warm and very humid night in Brisbane. The Bullets have got some work to do as they come back out from the main break. We spoke about Joe Lawala-Chul and how outstanding he's been for Melbourne United. Nathan Sobey, on the other hand, though, for Brisbane, 3 points, 0 of 4 from the field in the first half.
No, it is, and they need a little bit extra out of him for sure. And he's been averaging 20 points a game, and he has the capacity to turn it on and turn it on quickly. So you've always got to be paying attention. But the Melbourne United have done a great job of really taking away a lot of those driving lanes. Hasn't shot the ball well, and from the free throw line, where he's a very good free throw shooter, he's been poor. So it's been a tough night at the office for Nathan Sobey. 0 of 4, 3 of 6 from the free throw line.
And Drew, I expect both these teams to come out really charged up. Brisbane have a terrific opportunity right now to leap into 3rd place. They've got to take advantage of this. And Melbourne United, with Perth's loss last night to Illawarra, have a chance to create a bit more separation at the top. Big second half.
7-5 on their home floor this year. There's the lob for Melbourne that time. Didn't pay dividends. And it's been there for them all night long. Shannon Scott for 3. Maybe they have turned the aircon on.
And missed by a long way. That's a charge. Oh! I thought he guessed perfectly. He's right in our line, D. Talk to me.
Drew, I mean, there are some things. Ooh.
Come on now.
That looked pretty good. And Justin Schuler obviously is going to have to question that and have another look at it. Deli looks like he sustained a knee clang. Those are never friendly. This has got to be overturned, Andrew.
A little, you know, just this.
My track record isn't great this year on these, and I thought that I was certain on some of these calls, but...
It's a 50-50 one. I don't know if you remember the 93 Perth fans, block your ears, 93 grand final. Same thing with Ricky Grace, and at the time you think 100% it's a charge, and then you're looking at, gee, they can go either way. This one here, to me, that is, he's picked it, he's stationary, he's stopped, and he didn't move.
Charge.
That's gotta be a charge. If that's not a charge, I don't know what you expect the defense to do. Has to be a charge.
The coach's challenge is successful. The call will be reversed and the foul will be on white 8.
Yeah. Fouls on Deli.
It gets reversed. Yeah, it's reversed. Yeah. Are you sorry?
Sorry to call it terrible.
No problem. Yeah.
I'm going to stay off you this
I understand. Emotional go.
Oh, you know what I'll be saying with the referee?
Okay, here we go.
I don't believe you, Justin. I don't believe you're going to stay off.
You don't see Justin Schuler get heated too often, but he challenged that one straight away. And it's turned out to be a good challenge. So Brisbane retain theirs. Melbourne have already lost theirs. Prather. He's kept alive by McDaniel, but then Harrison fumbles.
That was just elite scrambling defense. They collapsed, the kick out, the hard close out, the extra pass, everything contested. Outstanding defensive set by Melbourne.
Golden's pass cross court. Prather was there with the answer. And Scott can't score. Good D from Ian Clark. Did well not to foul. Out there with a couple of fouls to his name. And then gets to the other end. And very nearly hurts the Bullets.
And the half is starting kind of like the game started, Andrew. Both teams unsure on the offensive end. Prather's like, I got to get me one tight.
The scratchy start. They don't know how to score in the first minute and a bit.
They look tired, going up and down, playing at a high pace.
Nine points for Casey Prather. He's been moving with fluency, Dave. Going up and down on the spot at the moment by teams.
No offensive timing between teammates there. Vickerman calling for that ball to be moved.
Over, flips it inside to Hook Porty. Travers to the rack. Met by Harrison. It still scores.
What about the finish?
Elite.
That's what happens when you've got that athleticism, that extra bit of hang time, able to keep control and kiss it off the glass softly.
The first bucket of the third quarter.
Some old school offensive structure that we see Brisbane run every now and then. We have a look though at Travers. What I call him before?
Well, you called him Sam McKinnon, and then you called him a flying greyhound. Now,
yeah, a greyhound with wings.
Oh, that's what it was.
Hey.
I think the Sam McKinnon one is.
You didn't like the other one?
I'm not sure about the greyhound with wings.
Get back to me later over the weekend.
But you know what? The strange thing is, I know exactly what you mean.
Footwork from Tyrell Harrison. Hook Porty saying that he went straight up.
Jack, that's a very good matchup between Harrison and Haporti. Guys that have really good footwork, Haporti with a football, AKA soccer background, Andrew, as he showed us some vision of him playing with Melbourne United.
He did. Went out of his way before the game.
Yeah.
We're talking about what he's going to do in the off-season, and he plans to go back. He wants to try and hook up with the EuroLeague team.
Correct.
Now, of course, he's still got the NBA ambition, but is keen to get back. And then you asked him about his soccer, and straight away he went to his phone and pulled out the vision of him playing against his teammates in a looked like a warm-up drill, and he was nimble on the feet.
Yeah, but I might add, you need to show more enthusiasm for some of these guys when they're showing you stuff, trying to impress you.
Well, there's a block and a missed alley-oop. The timing wasn't quite on point. But you can't get excited when he pulls out. I'm thinking he's going to go back to when he was at high school playing in Germany or something like that. He pulls out a warm-up drill playing against these scrubs. These other guys that have never touched a soccer ball.
No
his
skill.
Teammates.
Exactly.
They had zero skill.
Call his teammates scrub.
They're scrubs on soccer.
Thank you, TLC. Sobey's fouled. Still without a field goal to his name.
But Andrew, the thing about Nathan Sobey, you can never relax as a defender on him or as a team against him and think, oh no, this guy's off tonight.
No. That's what I was saying.
He's a light bulb.
And even if he's 3 for 30, he's still going to play the same way. He's not going to deviate from what he does, and that makes him so dangerous. And he's been explosive this season, 20 points a game.
Nathan Sobey, as you mentioned, an 87% free throw shooter. You can find all those stats and a whole lot more on the NBL app. It's free. You can download it from Apple or Google Play.
Oh. Ian Clark. I don't think that body language is going to win a lot of friends among the referee cohort.
Just went and handed him the ball, doing his best to back screen again. They were looking to go over the top, throw it at the rim, and Clark picks up the foul, and he gets subbed out of the game.
It's his third. He's had a few issues tonight, staying away from the officials. Ian Clark, 54-43.
5-0, the foul count in this quarter.
Mitch Norton wide open. Had to go and does.
Been shooting the ball better lately. He's had 2 really big games from the three-point line, and that one was desperately needed just to loosen that lid around that bucket.
His first points of the night. Cameron got a little flat tire. He's fouled. Tyrell Harrison.
Well, it's going to be an interesting period now with the Brisbane Bullets. It'll test the aggressiveness of Melbourne, because every foul now they're going to be going to the free throw line. And there's the kick out. And you don't want to completely change your strategy, and they are an aggressive attack the rim team anyway. But trying to really test Melbourne United and get to the free throw line.
Well, it's got to start defensively for Brisbane. They've got to figure out a way to channel that ball when Melbourne United has it to lower percentage options. And it's tough because of the outstanding structure that Melbourne United execute.
They do, and they get to the pick and roll a lot.
Lila Chul back into the game and came up with it immediately.
Maybe a foul.
Push.
3 fouls for Harrison. Bain's not on the court at the moment. These are some big minutes for Rocco Zikarsky.
They are, and a matchup against a red-hot JLA.
Going off the inbound.
He didn't even bring it down. Caught it around his forehead and just had the strength in the legs to go up. What an interesting play. Underneath, out of bounds. Works all the way from that cutting action to the top of the key.
Back now to a double-digit lead for Melbourne United. Sobey finally has his first field goal of the night.
Good recognition there from Zikarsky. Realized the mini advantage. Got it to Sobey, and very athletic finish.
Cameron, though, left open. Does not jump out. 5.5 minutes remaining in this third term. Sobey head down, trying to manufacture something. Zakarski over the top of Luala Chul.
White 0 on the arm.
The foul's been called on Melbourne.
Sobey's decided to press now.
There it is. He did come over the... It's a good drive by Sobey Bainsey, liking it. Dean Vickerman's just getting a speaking to from the officials. Thought Zakarski was coming over the back.
Top 5 in the competition. The blocks Rocco Zakarski, leaves that first one short.
There actually was a behaviour warning on
I think
Dean Vickerman.
you might have just got one from Melbourne United on Twitter too, actually, by the way.
What's that?
Just the highlights of Hook Porty's soccer skills are up now.
Right.
Just a little short back insides for you, Drewy, from the United social team.
No problem with Hook Porty's soccer skills. It's his teammates that I've really got some doubts about.
Luala Chul got away from Zakarski. He's playing like a man possessed. 17-7 for the night.
Very sharp and showing us the full bag of tricks. That's a tough shot he just hit there, Andrew, for a man his size.
They're putting their authority on this game, Melbourne. Nice pass, Sobey. Found the cutter, Mitch Norton.
Well, I was about to say a couple of minutes ago, Andrew, you can see Sobey's made a decision to start putting that ball on the deck, trying to make plays for his teammates.
And also get to the free throw line.
Yes.
Shot clock at 5. Luala Chul happy to pull up for 3.
Oh.
He's having that sort of night.
He is.
You hear me, Andrew?
I do, but...
and that was a tough one.
It was.
Over the 7'6".
But they've gone through their sets. They've explored their options. And to me, that was another one where the timing of that 3 ball was nice. The decoy, look at the work they're putting into Chris Golding. And Zakarski there, just a little too deep.
7'6" wingspan, Andrew. That's a really tough shot. That guy's closing out on you. You're used to guys like me closing out on you. Of course you could shoot 45% from the 3.
I really shot that high. There's a technical foul.
Oh, boy.
And I think it's going to be on Shea Illy.
One shot.
So that's going to be...
Wait. He has, correct? The sub's already been called, so it's on the bench, not on 51.
So Shea Illy
That's not the rule.
was the offender.
Let's go. One shot. That's not the rule, guys. Let's go. If you're beckoned, you become a sub. We've got it. The sub's called, it's a sub.
Is there any advantage either way there, Andrew?
Well, it's an advantage because it's one less foul that's going to be attributed to Shea Illy. So that's the important part of it. It doesn't change the penalty. It's still going to be the free throw.
Shea Illy now has 4 fouls.
They got to be careful.
Mark has 3. Kelly has 3.
Sorry, Dee, but Melbourne United just got to be a little careful about getting too caught up in the distractions, the officials. Dean's copped the warning. There's just been a tech. There's very chirpy towards the officials.
Well, Brisbane's express lane back into this game is via the free throw line. They're shooting 2 shots on every foul for the rest of this quarter. 4 minutes to go.
Oh, my. That just trickled in.
He's starting to find his touch, though. You can see it starting to come and get a feel for the game.
They still do not have a player in double figures tonight, the Brisbane Bullets. They do now with Sobey. 53-62. Still 4 minutes in this third quarter. It feels like it's gone for an eternity this term. Been a lot of stoppages, a bit of drama along the way. High emotion at a sold-out Nissan Arena. Baines kept Luala Chul off the glass. And Sobey draws contact from Dellavedova.
And here it is again with Sobey just doing whatever he can to milk it. And that's going to be a critical one because that's 4 fouls on Matthew Dellavedova.
They have real foul issues now. Ely with 4, Delhi with 4, Clark with 3. How's Dean Vickerman going to manage this?
He actually went and spoke to Matthew Dellavedova and basically asked him what did he want to do. Now, it might be that he's got some minutes issue and thinking, well, do you want me to take you out now? But he's decided to leave him in. Which is
How many times have you ever gone to a player and said, what do you want me to do? And he was like, hey, coach, yeah, can you take me out for a spell?
But if you got 4 and you're guarding one of the more difficult opponents in the competition, it's going to be a big test because you know Melbourne United are going to go at
high risk right now.
You just saw the ladder, what it means for both teams, particularly Brisbane. Luala-Chul to the rack with authority.
That's nice. Casey Prather in the restricted area, I would think. And Joe Luala-Chul with the 2 hands. There he is in the restricted area, but with the 2 hand stuffs it through.
And great adjustment. They haven't been able to get the one up in the air off the lob threat, so they go old school, drop it down, let JLA elevate.
Took off. Well, that was a long jump as well as a high jump. And
what a return of the Melbourne United lineup for him tonight.
He's 8 of 9 from the field. The only one he missed was that 3 ball.
Baines has a fumble, shot it well last Sunday. Same can't be said for that one. United by 10, Luala-Chul takes it straight back at Aaron Baines.
Yeah.
That falls, he has 25 to go with 8 rebounds.
They're going at him. They let him bring the ball up. They just spread the floor and said, you play one-on-one in that middle third against Aaron Baines. And when he's feeling it and seeing it, the rim like he is right now, the touch gets the friendly roll. And they're going to continue to milk that. They did it in the first half with great success. They're going at Aaron Baines.
Landry, if you look at his stat line, 25 points, 9 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from the threes, a plus 13, 8 boards. Outstanding return, as you said, Jack. And if he's in this form, Melbourne United go to another level.
9 of 10 from the field. He has 8 rebounds, a couple of steals. He's plus 13. And he just had that look in the eye from the moment we walked into the venue tonight, Derek, that he knew there was a matchup here and some opportunities to exploit them, and look at him go.
Well, when you've been away from the game also, for the reasons that he was, there's that itchy, that feeling, I want to get back out there and play. I want to help my team. He's been aware of the struggles. He's seen them not playing to the capacity that we know Melbourne United could get to. So I'm sure there was a lot of urgency, and look at him, Drew. Look at his eyes.
Yeah. Well, right now, he's loving the game, back with his teammates. And you're also loving the fact that in the pre-game, this is not by accident. They felt like that he could take the bigger guys. They've put in place some structures to get him the ball in his preferred spots. And he's been good enough to make the most of them with some really good touch around the rim.
Aaron Baines comes out of the game, and Harrison back in with 3 fouls of his own to try and find a way to stop Luala-Chul. That time he's stopping Brisbane. An unforced error from Melbourne.
He was looking to pass it. He wanted to get it off to Delhi. Delhi was running away because that clearly was the play. You get it, just take it down there and
just bring it.
Attack.
It's a double-digit margin for Brisbane. They're hanging in right now. Tough fall away from the corner from Smith. Prather with the big rebound, but it was fumbled by Norton. And again, Melbourne explore quickly in the offense. Krebs flies to the basket. Luala-Chul, not first time. Second time takes care of it.
Absolutely. Zero answer at the moment. Tyrell Harrison's got to take it upon himself to remove JLA's impact on this game, Andrew. Otherwise, Brisbane really got an uphill battle. That's not helping.
Defense.
They've got a significant problem right now, the Bullets. This time it's Bowen. He can't make it count.
You know, this last 2 minutes of this third quarter is going to be vital. This could get away from them if they're not careful.
This is worrying for Brisbane.
Just can't score. They've had all sorts of problems. Gets points on the board in this quarter.
Melbourne have scored the last 7. We've seen a lot of Casey Prather in this third term. He fires away. Brisbane 2 of 14 from the night from long range. They aren't a great shooting team as a rule, but
and that's
stat line's hurting them.
Jack, that to me is the missing link in this team. For all the great things they've done, and I think they're playing above expectations and are having a really good season. Justin Schuler's going to take a lot of credit for that. It's been fantastic. But when you think of what can make a profound difference with this team is the ability to knock down the 3 ball. 25%
You're
on the
correct.
season.
Well, I mean, look, in this game alone, they're at a minus 15 in the 3-point category. So, you know, the margin's 14. And you're spot on with that's the next level of progression as Krebs continues to punish the Bullets with a left-hand layup. Melbourne United up 16.
Game high lead right now. Putting their stamp on things in this third term, Melbourne. Brisbane have had no answers. Foul will be on Golding.
The swipe down hurt him. Chris looked like he was in decent position, and then as he gets hit, he swipes down at the ball. Call for a foul. I think he's been got one in the winded.
Play the back out. Melbourne have Sydney on Sunday in Kudos Bank Arena. Ruck, you and I will both be there for that one. That's become a fairly substantial game for the Kings, that one, all of a sudden.
Well, right now, the Kings are in a situation where they're now looking, staring down of missing out. Now, I think they've got enough talent that I think they'll get there, but putting yourself in a position, you don't want to have to come from that early playing game and work your way all the way up to repeat.
We've only got 4 games left, Sydney.
And New Zealand and Illawarra posing serious challenges.
Brisbane, after tonight, won't be in action until next Saturday when they travel to Illawarra to play the Hawks. Look, Bordy, look at the footwork. The little floater doesn't go, though. Isaac Whitehead down to the basket. That's tough.
And Drew, when you talk about that 3-point threat coming into this season, that's what the Bullets coaching staff thought Isaac White was going to provide. That quite hasn't occurred, but he has provided serviceable minutes, and that was a nice move right there.
Time against Clark. Goes with the left hand over the top of Harrison. It's been Melbourne United's quarter. It's a substantial lead that they take into 3-quarter time, 73-59. Stick with us, this is Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Joseph's been telling us about the hard-court shots he's been hitting his whole life. Can you tell us a bit more about that? give too many chili flakes in the risotto. But this is your turn, and he's using the limited edition Pride Round full-size basketball. Hey everyone, let's get behind Joseph! That's not bad. But hey, how about some noise for Joseph? That was probably the closest one yet. Every Bullets home game has scanned the QR code in the fun zone to have a shot. All thanks to Carnival Cruises. 7-day South Pacific cruise for under $900. Leaving Brisbane. Those who are able, on your feet! Time to run over the top of them, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet.
Three-quarter time on Friday Night Hoops. Nissan Arena is sold out tonight, and they are seeing Joe Luala-Chul put on a show. 27 points on 10 of 13 from the field. He has 11 rebounds to go with it, plus 15 for the game. And it's that look in his eye that he's had all night long. And he has proved unstoppable. And speaking of Nissan Arena, we mentioned that it's a sellout. Tonight's crowd of 5,291 is the biggest crowd ever for a Bullets game in this venue.
Hey, fantastic turnout from the Brisbane community, but right now they want to see this team come back in this fourth quarter. Melbourne United have totally throttled them offensively, and JLA has been dominant.
Only 20 points in that third quarter, Drewy, for the Bullets. Where's it going to come from in the fourth?
Well, this guy will help, and he has the capacity to turn it on, but right now, things just not going his way. He's done most of the damage by getting to the free throw line. They've got to find a way to score. Yep, certainly getting stops is critical.
Daniel in pursuit was last touched by Golding. Right in front of us. Nathan Sobey, the only player in double figures for the Bullets tonight, Ruck, but he's 1 of 7 from the field. He's 10 of 13 from the free throw.
And, you know, in that third quarter, we saw what his intent was. Rim attack, try and set your teammates up. He can't alter that, but he's going to have to knock down some threes, and they need to create some opportunities when he gets back in the game. And by he, I mean Chris Smith. He's the guy that can get them back into this.
3 of 10 for the night, Chris
yeah,
Smith.
I was about to say that. Him and only 3 of 10.
Brisbane have won 5 of their last 6. They've been in outstanding form, but they've been met with a whole different challenge tonight.
Oh, boy.
Pass is errant from Isaac White.
It's the right option. He's wide open, just a poor pass by White.
Fans still on their feet, as is the custom here to start the fourth quarter. They need to make as much noise as they possibly can. Porty back to Illy.
That is an elite
pass from the big man.
Just an elite pass. He read that situation beautifully. And the big fella showing some good decision making around the paint. Get that back to Illy for the easy 2. Things just not dropping.
He's lost his shoe, Nathan Sobey. And a big-time dagger right there. Sobey slow to recover due to the lost shoe. And the Bullets take an early dagger from Chris Golding as he continued to be a killer here in Nissan Arena.
19-point lead. That hurts.
It does, and right now it's been the stars for Melbourne United. Joe Luala-Chul Jr. with 27 points. Chris Golding with 17 points. Between them, Andrew, they're 16 of 23 from the field.
Wow.
No one else has really done much for United, but those guys have been good enough. And we know in basketball, if your stars get off, you have a very good chance of winning.
Yeah, and the difference between what we've seen of Melbourne United in this 7-game road, this 6th of the 7-game road stretch they've been on, is that their defense has been their calling card. And it's faltered a few times throughout this period, but tonight, after that disappointing performance on the road against Tasmania, they have taken that on board and made the adjustments spectacularly, and we're seeing the results of it here today with a magnificent 19-point lead.
78-59 at Nissan Arena. There's Shea Ili back into the lineup tonight after missing a couple of games. His record in the last 2 seasons speaks for itself. They're 28-8 when Shea Ili plays, 4-10 when he doesn't.
The guy's a winner. He does all those things at the point guard position that probably go a little bit unheralded. And there's no doubt Melbourne United rise 3 notches when he's in the lineup. And Brisbane, Andrew, really struggle offensively against Melbourne United traditionally over the past 3 years, but this season they've had some horrible offensive outputs.
Well, 10 straight losses is evidence of that. They just haven't found the formula despite different personnel and different coaches. They haven't been able to find a formula against Melbourne United, and Melbourne United come in, and the big difference for me is they just locked in defensively. They clearly took on board what happened in Tasmania, and they've made some significant adjustments, and it's shown here, and it's helped them generate a lot of their offense.
So when they played in round 3, it was 89-78, Brisbane scored. In round 10, it was 103-68. And at the moment, the Bullets have 59.
Now, the problem is here when you're Brisbane and you're playing from behind. They don't have the three-point weapons of other teams. And it's, you know, where we're at this season, it's clearly demonstrating the stats. You're only shooting at 25%. So they don't want to go and just try and get lucky and blaze their way through. Where their strength has been is in offensive transition, putting it down, putting some heat on the rim early, and throwing it into the box or into the post and playing off the post. That's where they've been really good. So it's a big, big margin they've got to haul in right now. There's still time. They need everything to go their way. But if they think they're just going to blaze their way through this, to me, this would be the wrong strategy.
McDaniel started the game with promise. That's more like it.
But then again, you never know.
Well, yeah, the past 24 hours, I sat and watched the screen last night for 2 hours with eyes wide open and mouth open, incredulous to what I saw. So a fourth quarter comeback that would not surprise me here, Andrew. That was a foul.
Valley checking back into the game with those 4 fouls. Shea Ili's going to have a spell. He's looking disappointed, thought he got fouled. That is, geez, improved his offensive game. He's renowned for his mid-range, but Sam McDaniel, what he can do now, he is a genuine threat from the perimeter.
And probably a threat for an end-of-season award consideration. Most improved player?
Most improved, and you're not going to completely dismiss him from the conversation of Defensive Player of the Year either.
Crossover from Smith, but the tall timber of Melbourne got together as one. Hook Porty's pass intercepted. Harrison misses a bunny.
They're the ones you've got to make when you're playing catch-up.
Golding. Oh, that's well short. Uncharacteristic for Chris Golding. It's helped in by Harrison. They've scored the last 2 buckets, Brisbane. Got it back to 15.
And Dean Vickerman's going to go to his bench and get Joel Walatul Jr. back into the game, try and stem this tide, preserve a timeout.
Golding catch and shoot. 3!
He just had an air ball and no hesitation, and that was even tougher than the one that he threw up an air ball.
And that was a really important possession for Melbourne United. The defense wasn't terrible, but the guy's an incredible player.
Well, that's a super quick release, and to have that touch. Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. simple action. You have to get it off because McDaniel's coming right at him. Does everything he can after having to show some help.
And if we look at the development side of it and the technical side, you know, I always teach, as I know you do, make sure your feet are set. But when you get to an elite level, it's more about your shoulders than your feet. And you saw there, he got his shoulders aligned, Drew, felt confident and let that thing fly.
Earlier tonight, it was the New Zealand Breakers up against Tasmania in New Zealand. The Breakers got out to a very fast start. Tasmania clawed their way back into the game, but the Breakers looked very slick tonight.
They did, and you know, now they've got a run. They've got some games up their sleeve, I believe. And with those 3 imports, anything can happen. Parker Jackson Cartwright is outstanding. Will McDowell-White's getting back to form, and Anthony Lamb is so smooth with it, Andrew. He is a professional offensive player.
And Zylan Sheetham started to get back. He missed a big chunk of the season with a broken leg, a bone somewhere in the leg there. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but he's come back and had, I think, his best game since returning. Started off the first half in spectacular fashion, and when, like you say, those 3 imports and you throw in the support cast around them, it's they are tough. They would not be a team that you'd want to be running into.
So here's the ladder at the moment. The point that's worth having a good look here is the Brisbane Bullets percentage. It goes to 97. Of all of the teams in the race for a play-in spot and a playoff spot, that's a significant problem for the Bullets.
It is, and you look down to even going down to 8th place at 99.65 is even better than the Bullets. So I don't think any blowouts are forthcoming because they're not really a team that blows people out, Drewy.
No.
So they really need to get in by winning games and not relying on tiebreakers. Wow.
Coat hanger from Chris Golden. 82-64. Reminder tomorrow. Adelaide and Cairns first up, and then the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix host the Perth Wildcats at the State Basketball Centre. Can lightning strike twice for the Phoenix? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure Sobey called bank. They're not open on a public holiday as a rule.
No, I'm positive he didn't.
And we'll have to have a look at this replay. Ian Clark is down. And he took a forearm shiver.
The left out. I don't think he intentionally, just that he was low and runs into the left elbow of Aaron Baines. And call it Clark. Clark was trying to get skinny to get over the top of the screen and got low. And again, I'm positive Baines didn't intentionally mean to do it, but it worked. Unfortunately, it just was that's a moving screen. That is a move. For all the times we've seen moving screens this season, that's a foul. Now, I don't think he intentionally meant to hurt Clark, but it should have been a foul.
So he'll head back to the locker room and probably undergo some cautionary tests. It's Melbourne United in control. Travers steps into the 3. It's been a pretty quiet night. Only 6 points, 3 of 8. And Sobey no good. 2 of 10 for the game from the field.
And Brisbane overall at 37%. This is what Dean Vickerman teams do to you. Make you inefficient, do things you don't want to do.
5 minutes to play at Nissan Arena. It's going to take something pretty special from the Bullets here. Have we learnt tonight, Ruck, that against the very best teams that they may not have enough offensive firepower, the Bullets?
Looks like Drew is studying for a test all week, thinking you're well prepared. And if things don't quite go to plan and you flunk it.
Great hands.
That's kind of what's happening here.
Krebs had left the scene of the crime. Sobey ends up with it after all of that. Dean Vickerman not happy. He's setting high standards for this group.
Krebs did a great job with the defensive play to get the block and then just turned it over.
Travers, the feed for Luala-Chul. Prather got a piece of that. They all fall down and Brisbane get the ball back.
And Luala-Chul slipped on a wet spot.
Baines gets his body in the way right there. And great hustle from Prather.
And this should be an easy two. This is Keystone Cop stuff. He just slid, unfortunately. An easy, wide open layup. Goes begging.
The floor wipers out there. I've noticed it's our first time in this arena, Ruck, so forgive us, but I've noticed whenever the floor wipers come out, the Working Class Man by Jimmy Barnes comes on.
Yeah, we might want to talk to them about some of the playlists.
No, don't you dare. You leave that song on.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
Oh, yes, please. Prather from the free throw line. Been very quiet since making a good fist of things in the first half.
They have generated some pretty good looks, so it's not scheme, it's skill right now.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to knock down shots. Melbourne United thinking it's just relentless, just wears you down all year. They just go to the matchup they wanted to get and go to Baines. Baines off the ball.
And Joe Luala-Chul is telling him all about it as well.
Yeah, the water's starting to boil. Here we go.
A little push in the back. Joe Luala-Chul saw it and felt it.
Baines, I think, is getting frustrated because he knows they're picking on him down the other end of the floor. They're going at him, and he's getting frustrated with it.
Which is never a good feeling to get picked on defensively.
No, of course not. And then in transition, he just quick stopped on Joe Luala-Chul, and there was a collision that sparked it all. And then on the rebound contest, they went on a little bit further. So here it is. See, Baines, the lateral movement can't keep him in front. And then when they're running, just quick stopped on him. And then Joe didn't like that and had a few words to say.
Aaron Baines goes to the bench. Luala-Chul has well and truly won the battle of the big men tonight. He's not done. He's got an appetite for buckets this time. Off the back of the iron.
And some of the other teams in the running for the playoffs, they don't want to see this JLA. They do not want to see him catch any form as Sobey athletically finger rolls.
And despite all that poor shooting, 4 of 17, there's 3 minutes to go. Now, it's a big ask, but they're only down by 30. They're just doing enough to hang around.
2:48 to play, down 13.
Hard to win ball games against Melbourne United if you're only shooting from the field at 37%, 4 of 17, 23% from the three-point line. They're just, their depth of talent and the way in which they can score as well makes it really tough.
We've spoken a lot, Melbourne, about the learnings of the roster that they put together last year, Ruck, and how they won't make the same mistake twice, and they definitely haven't. This, as Drewy said, the depth is there from top to bottom.
It is, and they haven't had full access to it as Delhi finishes with a nice little drop step move off the glass. But this is one of the things that I give credit Dean Vickerman for and why his value raises in my Coach of the Year stakes. Because Drewy, he's dealt with a lot of absences, concussions, sicknesses, injuries, and yet he's been able to manage his team and keep them playing. Oh my. Don't worry about what I was going to say. Let's watch the brilliance of Chris Golding. This is 3 times he's done this off the catch from deep.
Look at him. He's got a swagger about him too. Just look, he catches this 1-2 in rhythm. He makes it look so easy, but that is not easy. That is deep, it's quick, and he has still got Scott going at him. But you're right, Dean's done an outstanding job dealing with the adversity, but he's got very attractive tools to work with. And
Justin Schuller just off screen absolutely lost it at his Bullets for not finding Golding in transition. Here's their run home. They've only got 3 games left, Brisbane. So next Saturday at Illawarra, then they've got a home game here against Adelaide Ruck, and then New Zealand away in the last game of the year. After tonight, they're not there yet, Brisbane.
I'm going to go with how my gut felt when you read that out to me, and it did not feel good, Drew. That is a tough road to get home.
There is no easy games anymore.
There are easier games than that.
Well,
there are
not really. When you look at the ladder and where those teams are at right now. But the problem you've got is you've got teams like Adelaide who still theoretically have a chance. They're playing their best basketball of the season the last 3 or 4 weeks. Illawarra hanging on. A huge win on the road last night. And, you know, it's... The Phoenix are still technically still in the hunt.
You know, so Brisbane realistically...
They are. I mean, the win they had against Sydney, one of the more gutsier wins we've seen in recent times. They just...
They got to get 2 of these games, Brisbane, out of the next 3 realistically.
Daniels threw it up for Harrison.
Well, 14 and 14. You're going to be unlucky to miss out, but 14-14 and you're with a real chance. You're not without a chance, depending on results, with even 13. But
it's been one of the most competitive seasons ever, and because of that, 14 may not be enough.
No, well, but 13 might be.
Yeah.
It's one of those seasons. It could go either way.
The percentages, though, I think that's why Brisbane needs to get to 14, because with those low percentages...
No, you're right. That's almost a game.
That could bite them.
Game behind, really.
Offensive foul. Tanner Krabs has done some good things against his former team, including stepping in for the charge there.
But you know, Drew, we always talk about the stars of the competition stepping up when it matters. And Melbourne United got it from 2 of their biggest ones today. And it takes pressure off your role players when your stars are able to come out like this and dominate a game and get you a huge win against a hot team on the road.
23 points for Chris Golding, 6 of 12 from outside. They double him. Shaw takes the bump. 2 free throws for Melbourne.
When you talk about that percentage, the Bullets, this one's pretty much gone. But you've got to make sure that you keep this margin as low as you possibly can.
Don't forget, of course, the ultimate VIP experience you can win, the No Ball Tour. Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley, Horace Grant. Do you know that Horace Grant, out of all the goggles that he wore when he played, he only has ever kept 1 pair.
Wow. That was that championship winning pair, was it?
We can go with that.
Okay.
What a valuable asset he was in those teams.
We tick down to the last minute. Unfortunately for the Brisbane Bullets, it was a night full of optimism, a record crowd at Nissan Arena. They'd won 5 of their last 6 bouncing into tonight, but once again they've come up against one of the competition's best in Melbourne United. And have fallen well short. Smith had McDaniel open, fine, and McDaniel knocks down the 3.
You can see Brisbane maintaining their focus. They're going to get up the court, Andrew. As you said, they're aware of the percentage problem they could potentially have. They could get this thing down to around 10, even single digits. It would do wonders for them. Rocco's got to be up the floor a little bit more here in this setup. They need to press hard.
Melbourne go to the bench. Brad Newley into the game. Zach Triplett also in to finish off. can enjoy this now, Melbourne. They've been a little patchy over their last 5 games, but this is much more like it tonight. The final stages of this one is Rocco. Late jam for the Bullets and something for their fans to enjoy on the way out. Are they back in business, Melbourne?
I don't think they were ever out of business. I think that they've had a margin throughout most of the season. And they showed what needs to be done and a great response from a disappointing performance against the Jack Jumpers. It's been a little sloppy here the last 30 seconds. Dean Vickerman hadn't stopped coaching.
No.
My goodness. He was not happy with
riding every possession to the end.
Have a look at this. I think that's a correct call. Came off Krebs, didn't it? It's a tough one. Certainly look from this one here, not this. No, keep
Was it McDaniel after
going.
Krebs?
I don't know. Is there enough? I don't think it's enough to overrule. Not that it really matters, but when you think percentages, yes, they said yes, there is enough evidence to overrule.
Cop that, Drewy.
Yes.
8 second count the backcourt. It was 10? Okay, they got 5 then. How long do they have? How long do they have to get it over? Sorry? How long do they have to get it over? It's a 7-5? 7-1.
That's the game clock. That's the game clock, 7-1. They were just inbounding after the score, so they had the full 24, I thought.
Been a slightly delayed end of this game.
4 seconds. Okay, maybe there wasn't a score, was there?
Now it's going to be delayed even further. Dean Vickerman calling a timeout.
I have to be honest, I lost a bit of interest.
What were you doing?
I was just having a look at some numbers here. And they've called a timeout because there's only 4 seconds so they could advance it. So Melbourne United wanted to play it out, and they're going to try and score. They're not just going to inbound it, they're actually trying to score.
That's going to be a big win tonight for Melbourne. No question about that. Chris Goulding has played a big part in it. 6 made threes, 23 points for the evening.
Yeah, he's a special player in this league, and when he starts to see it go in, the confidence just oozes from him. And when he's in that frame of mind, that right there, to not have to gather yourself and bring your hands down to get momentum in it, just keep it around the forehead and go straight up with it. It's hard to guard. Very hard to guard.
So I think are we officially drawing a line through the MVP for anyone other than Bryce Cotton?
It's going to be hard to top Bryce.
So all NBL first team for Chris Goulding, still
100.
Very much on the radar?
Nah, 100. If he doesn't, there's something wrong. I think that when you think about one of the best players on clearly the best team, so far in the regular season I'm talking about.
Lawala-Chul with one last bucket. A career-high night for Joe Lawala-Chul. And plenty of advice for the Bullets bench on the way out. Melbourne United come to Brisbane and smash the Bullets once more. And they do it 93-77 in emphatic fashion.
Well, do they ever? Like you mentioned, a career high on exceptionally good shooting by JLA Jr. He was special. Chris Goulding lit it up. But they set the tone right from the first tip. The defensive effort really made life going really tough for the Brisbane Bullets, and in particular, some of their main guys. Nathan Sobey, 4 of 14, and holding Brisbane to only 4 of 18 from the free throw line, and only shooting it at 36%. It was going to be a tough night. So great defense of schemes and game plan, and talent that Melbourne United can.
And that is now 11 consecutive victories for Dean Vickerman over the Brisbane Bullets.
It's impressive. He's got their number, and it's not just Justin Schuller. There's been a few along the journey that he's been able to take care of.
Let's get over to Derek with our Foot Locker player of the game.
Jolawala Trul Jr., 33 points, 13 rebounds, a new career high. At what point did you realize in this game that they couldn't guard you? We heard you yell out during the game, or was it before the game?
This game, I was playing with a heavy heart. I was dedicating this game to my family. Jade, Nori, I know you guys are watching. I love you guys. I was away from them, and I wanted to dedicate this game to them. I feel like somebody up there was kind of guiding me, and like this is for them. And it's tough because I'm getting a little bit emotional, but this was bigger than what it was today. I came in with a chip on my shoulder.
Very well spoken, and we all feel for you. How did you feel like coming into this game you were going to be able to exploit Brisbane as a team?
We did a good job of scouting them. We knew how they were going to guard our pick and rolls, and we kind of knew our advantages, and we did a good job of exploiting those.
Joe, great game. Way to come back. We're happy to have you back. See you Sunday in Sydney.
Yep, thank you so much.
Jolawala Trul Jr., career high 31 points tonight. Now thoughts are with Joe and his family during a challenging time as well. We are back to wrap it up on the other side of this. Melbourne United winners 93-77.